Hey guys, what is up? It's Dusty here, and welcome back to another crypto video. Just some breaking news. Maybe I should actually change the title. This just came out just now, a couple of minutes ago, and wait, let me just quickly change the title. We'll not put live in there. Breaking. This was just put up a couple of minutes ago. Basically, the Hinman deposition was supposed to be Monday. However, Ripple and the SEC had to talk yesterday and even today. And this night had to come to a conclusion. The conclusion just came out, and basically it has been postponed till the 27th. So I'm going to quickly share it over on Discord and then explain the entire situation to you guys so we can go on with that. A little bit of breaking news. Pretty interesting to me. Let me also share it over on Twitter. And by the way, if you're wondering why I'm doing this stuff while I'm already, live streaming, it's because I start these things as soon as I possibly can to just give you guys the news as soon as possible. And then all this small stuff like quickly sharing it, we'll figure it out once I've already given you guys the most important part, which is this. Okay, so every single news outlet right now is just posting this. Let's quickly read. Hinman deposition postponed to July 27th. The parties have made substantial progress in narrowing and resolving the privilege issues, and will continue to confer. So this basically means they've already made a lot of headway talking to each other last night, which the judge actually ordered. Parties will report to court on their progress on Monday by 5 p.m. And so, exactly this part I'm not exactly sure about. Let's quickly read though the entire paper. All right. Dear Judge Nedburn, regarding the SEC v. Ripple, this is Kellogg, Hansen, Todd Fiegel, and Frederick P. LLC. So this is, I'm assuming, from Ripple's side, right? We write jointly on behalf of plaintiffs SEC and defendants Ripple. Okay, so both sides, and Brad Garlinghouse and Chris Larson. At your direction, the parties met and conferred, which basically means they come together and talk about some stuff, right? You guys know how that works. This morning on the privilege issues that arose during yesterday's hearing. Hopefully you guys were here during the entire hearing yesterday, but this part basically refers to the fact that the SEC and Ripple could not come to a conclusion on whether or not some of the internal parts of the deposition could pull through. Because once more, guys, the deposition is going to be pulling through. The question is just about when. And fun fact, I was actually recording a video, which is why I'm a couple minutes late. This already came out like 40 minutes ago, but I was recording a video, which is why I couldn't get here sooner. And some of the guys are talking about settlement. We'll talk about that in just a second, all right? Don't worry, we'll get to it. And make sure you guys press that like button. I put a lot of effort into getting these things out as soon as possible. There's 200 people watching, just 12 likes pressed. Let's get that to at least 50 or so. Press that little button for me, help me out. On the motion to, okay, so on the privilege issues that arose yesterday's hearing, on the motion to quash the deposition of William Hinman, yes, based on this morning's discussions, we have agreed to adjourn the July 19th deposition of Mr. Hinman and have rescheduled the deposition for about a week later, 8 days later. The parties have made substantial progress in narrowing and resolving the privilege issues and plan to have additional meeting confer discussions in the next few days to further narrow and resolve the issues relating to Mr. Hinman's deposition. This specific part is most interesting because I wouldn't have thought that Ripple and the SEC could actually come to a good conclusion. I would have thought that everything would have to be discussed through a judge. But that's, again, why this whole settlement discussion that you guys are having there in the comments section is a lot more logical. But we'll get to that in just a second. They'll continue to talk over the next few days regarding the deposition without waiver of any party's rights, including any rights under the Fed, yada, yada. With the court's permission, we propose to notify the court by 5 p.m. on Monday, July 19th, as to the status of our discussions and if further judicial intervention is necessary, to propose a briefing schedule to resolve any outstanding issues. So this last part refers to the fact that this Monday, there will be, okay, why being delayed? I'll tell you, don't worry. This Monday, they will be posting a couple of papers, most likely the SEC and Ripple, explaining whether or not they need the judge assistance about, how to further this or not. And if so, they also will post up, a new motion, for example, and then another reply, another blah, blah, a whole schedule for that. Like we've seen 1,000 times before. It's basically a back and forward and back, right? So for example, Ripple poses the deposition letter or a question letter. Then the SEC goes to reply. Ripple has a defense to that reply, and then the SEC has another reply to end it off with, like stuff like that, for example. And the second letter was just a credentials, basically. Okay, so why did this happen? Well, we already heard in the hearing a little bit earlier, yesterday, that they had to discuss this tonight, which was yesterday night, and today. They did, and they came to the conclusion that, well, they could better postpone it. Why, you might ask? Well, logically speaking, within a couple of days only here, they only had Friday, Saturday, Sunday to discuss what exactly could be allowed to discuss and what couldn't. And it's a pretty difficult issue because if the Ripple wants to question William Hinman about this speech itself, the SEC basically says, no. All that stuff is privileged. And so Ripple would have to discuss with the SEC what exactly they can ask that guy, because ultimately they want to know about the speech, so they have to discuss the exact privilege argument and what exactly is privilege and what not, what can they ask, what not, and have to come to a good conclusion about that. The judge was really clear in when she said she will not allow for a second deposition of William Hinman. He could only be deposed once, which basically means if Ripple has questions, they have to ask it to him this time around. They cannot, which they wanted, is what the SEC said. I'm not sure about that. They cannot ask him first about the questions which are obvious, then figure out with the SEC the whole issue of privilege, and then depose him twice once Ripple has been, for example, given the green to, basically ask more questions. No, the judge said you have two options. One, you're going to continue on with this on Monday, with, basically basic questions and trying to meet and confer with all of this about the privilege and whatnot. And if you want any parameters or guidelines, come back to me tomorrow and I'll go over it and I'll rule for you on some parameters regarding the privilege, basically. Or option number two, which was you stall it for a couple of weeks, come to a couple of conclusions yourself, and then, raise it to me if you can't get out of this, basically. Now, that is the normal side of things. One thing which a lot of people will most likely be speculating upon is that this is all now being done for a different purpose, which is settlement. It is not that crazy, to be honest with you, but there's two things to discuss here, which we'll get to. The reason I'm saying a settlement is because many people said a deposition like this, the SEC has been so reluctant in giving out documents regarding their internals and even this entire debacle right now, that they've been so reluctant with it, that they might not want to at all just have him be deposed and have him answer any questions. Because obviously that's going to debunk the entire theory about Bitcoin and Ether and XRP and everything. It's going to be putting up an entire new debate about what the legal status of Ether and Bitcoin is. That's going to be so much trouble for the SEC, they might not want that. It is theoretically speaking possible that they're delaying this right now to come to a conclusion for settlement before the deposition goes through. Then again, we shouldn't come to any early conclusions. It could definitely be so that the SEC is just a little bit desperate right now, and so they want a settlement. But it could also be that they're really, wanted to go through this entire deposition because they know maybe that Ripple's not going to get something out of it. It could also be that they want to come to conclusions and try, listen here carefully, and try to get the Ripple side basically to not be able to get any questions out of William Hinman. Let me rephrase that. So the SEC right now wants some extra time, and Ripple most likely wants it too, because as it currently stands, Ripple can almost not ask William Hinman anything because everything is quote-unquote privileged because he was an SEC official at the time, and so a person of that high status, which the judge agreed with, he can't really ask too much. So right now they have to figure that story out. And it could be that the SEC just wants to try that first, and if it doesn't work, if they bring it to a judge, for example, to get another schedule, or if they bring it to a judge and the judge says, no, Ripple can ask it, which I would think so. I think the judge is going to side with Ripple on that part because she wants to know most likely too what is the stance on Ethereum and whatnot. She's in on this. That they might give up then if the judge, for example, rules on Ripple's side about that. So I'm personally thinking the SEC hasn't given up. They're getting kind of desperate because, well, they've been hiding documents for so long. But Jeremy Hogan earlier said as well, you can only hide stuff for so long. The next time it gets brought up to a judge, they have no choice. They have to give it over. I'm not exactly sure where he said that. I think it was like yesterday. He said if it gets put up to the judge this time around, he has to. But I'm not exactly sure where that was anymore. It's just been pushed back for a week, by the way. Let's quickly see here. Interesting moment on the SEC Ripple call yesterday. When judge asked if the deposition will proceed on Monday if it is granted, SEC attorney said, well, if you grant it, we have to think about what we may do about that, or something like that. Appeal, settle? Corey said, do you know yet if the deposition will proceed on Monday or when the judge will decide? And he said, sounded like it will be pushed back a week because that's what the judge basically recommended. And we were not, we're not too surprised by this decision because once more, it is good for both sides on all of this. It's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. And here, Jeremy Hogan also said, can you speak to what the judge meant when she made the statement of cutting off your nose to spite your face? Jeremy Hogan said, she was warning Ripple that if it didn't push the deposition back by a week, they'd be hurting their position because she wasn't going to allow them a second shot at it. So basically, discuss everything first before you do your deposition. And so that is that. Now, one thing that's also quite important, I think, let me quickly see on my Twitter here. I think that, what's his name? BC Backer actually posted this. I thought I retweeted it. Let me quickly see. Let me refresh my Twitter. I thought I retweeted BC Backer. Maybe I just liked the tweet then? Let me quickly see. I thought I retweeted him though. Well, oh, here we go. I'll retweet it quickly. This is kind of interesting. Hinman's deposition is now scheduled for July 27th. We all know that. Meanwhile, Elizabeth Warren has publicly requested response from Gary Gensler no later than July 28th. Interesting times we are in, and that is actually really interesting. That is really interesting. So, this letter, by the way, if you don't know what it is about, it is Elizabeth Warren, who's a senator, right? I believe so. I believe she's a senator. She put up a letter to Gary Gensler for proper crypto regulation to some degree. She basically wanted to know from Gensler, are crypto the same as securities, and are crypto exchanges the same as security exchanges? And I'm wondering if Ripple actually, and the SEC maybe too, wanted to get this done a day before the deadline, or maybe it had nothing to do with that. The reason I'm saying that is because they didn't actually put it back a week. They put it back 8 days, which is the longest time before this specific date. Then again, maybe it has nothing to do with that, though. It's hard to say. It's really hard to say. Mugamad says, when is the judge planning on forcing the SEC to hand over the documents? WTF, how do you just blatantly ignore a court date? Dismissible. I mean, it's not that simple, I guess, because obviously the SEC has been doing it for a couple of times now, and the judge now said, if you bring it up to court once more, I'll rule on it, and I'll help you guys out. But I think that's just how court works, right? You try to hide as much stuff as you can, possibly, and give it only if you really, really have to, if you're trying to hide something. And even though they can, what can a judge do? Ultimately, she can only say, hey, give those documents over. And if you don't, she'll become more curious as to why you don't. But the SEC side always says, well, we're so busy trying to figure it out. We're giving them as much as we can, but it's thousands upon thousands upon thousands of documents. And of course, Ripple's side now, for the first time, brought the argument that even after a second order, because there was some confusion, they said, they still haven't given it. Now, if the judge has to intervene again and say, hey, give it over, she might get a little bit more severe on that, given a deadline for it, a definite deadline, because it's about to get a little bit fishy. Like, I mean, going, if she ordered it once and you said it didn't budge, could be, right? Because she gave an order, but there could be some discrepancies with the story and whatnot. Second one, it could be that, okay, you're working on it, but it's taking too long, or there's still some sort of dispute about it. But if she's given a definite date for sure as to which you have to give it and some specifics, and she ruled on it, I don't think she's going to be that lenient anymore. Somebody asked, is it over or not? I get that question so often. When we live stream, people ask, is the lawsuit settled? Is the lawsuit over? Has Ripple won? Has Ripple lost? No. What just happened is that the date at which William Hinman has to be deposed has changed, and we're going to get some new documents over on Monday. I'm assuming, by the way, that this is what we're going to be seeing. Oh, I didn't even retweet this. Let me also retweet that for you guys. That this is all we're going to be seeing today, and that Monday, I guess, will be the second part of it. And so by Monday right now, which this is going to be annoying, I just recorded a video. I'm going to maybe have to change some stuff in that video. No, I'm not going to do that. I already had the title. I already had the thumbnail for it. I just didn't publish it yet because I was working on it a little bit, like changing a couple of things up. But we're still going to be publishing that a little bit later today, though. So some info might not be completely accurate anymore because of the news we just got, but I think it's still good, though. The video I have, basically, talks mostly about the fact that Ripple is the forefront of crypto regulation right now, and you guys should understand that properly. Everything that we're witnessing right here is critical to the future of crypto regulation. Think about it for yourself. Ethereum, Bitcoin, no other crypto right now in the United States is actually cleared. And that's something really vague to me to understand. Not a single crypto in the entire United States is actually completely safe. Isn't that odd? That for so many years right now, Bitcoin has been there, yet it's not officially just good or regulated in any degree. Like, what? And that's actually, if that's the truth though, what we're going to be figuring out over the next couple of days, and specifically Monday here, we will see whether or not Ripple can ask questions about that specific tweet, or, about that specific speech, or not. So Monday is going to be another really important date. It kind of feels like we're postponing it because that's what happened. But now, instead of today, because they didn't go into a full-on battle, they did actually, kind of work together. They've come to some conclusions. Monday, we will see if the SEC and Ripple will be hostile to each other, or if they'll come to some, I guess, civil conclusions. Emma Zem coming at the $2 saying, coming soon. Yeah, some big news coming soon indeed, man. Thank you for your support. And by the way, guys, have you not checked out the Bybit competition just quite yet? And right now is your time. A lot of people don't know how it works. It's so simple, man. Go check it out. Links down below. And as I've said before, you should be subscribed to the channel, because if you aren't, you might miss out some of this Ripple XRP news. And right now, did you guys get a notification for this video? I don't think you did, huh? I don't think you got a notification for it. But a lot of you guys just check my channel often and keep refreshing, or are in Discord. That's how you get these things so soon. It is sometimes worth it, because this news, the sooner you get it, the better. From a different degree, I'm not selling anyway, so I guess what does it matter? But Darren says, if Hinman ever does take the stand, is it public audio? Yes and no. So a deposition, I believe, almost always becomes public after the fact and is recorded, but I'm not sure that we're actually going to be able to hear it on the day itself. So kind of a yes, kind of a no. Then again, guys, what we are most curious for right now is whether or not there'll be a settlement over all of this, because it could really be so that the SEC just doesn't want to risk putting up all these documents forward. And it could literally be so that because right now the judge ruled that this is a unique circumstance that this deposition can't pull through, that the SEC does not want to take a chance to actually get William Hinman deposed. They might not want to sever that bond, make it so annoying for him and make it so annoying for themselves. They might want to go to a settlement as soon as possible if, once more, the privilege doesn't work, that little last resort. And, they're going to go into like a panic mode, maybe, and want to settle purely so they don't really F themselves in the A. Because think about it. If William Hinman's statements become distorted a little bit or really questioned, that could be detrimental to the entire crypto space. It could be such a big change. People are going to lose a lot of money. The SEC is going to have a lot of trouble. They might not want that. I believe a settlement with Ripple would be the least of their troubles, but yeah, it's really difficult to say. What do you guys actually think? Let me quickly ask the chat box. Do you guys think this is all like a freaking insider game, or do you guys think this is all just a fair trial? Like, the more that we keep talking about it, the more I'm thinking, no, this stuff is just, by the way, I'll put the slow mode off. This stuff is just an insider game. But then again, I can also see it from a different perspective that, man, crypto regulation is coming in piece by piece. The SEC just wants a bite out of every chunk. They're trying to do their best to regulate crypto in a strange, distorted fashion. They're saying they're protecting us, yet they're hurting us. But then again, maybe they really think they're doing a good job, though, right? I mean, who knows? Maybe these guys are legit not that good at their job. Maybe they really thought they were doing a good job for the United States and for all the peoples. I mean, it's hard to say. It really is. Yeah. I mean, what can we say, guys? What can we say? Are they biased? Maybe. Then again, maybe they're just an organization looking for some money. The new date? Look in front of you, my guys. Sometimes it is so simple. If you just look in front of your screen, you'll know exactly what the new date is. It is right in front of you on two different parts right here. You see it hopefully on the right a little bit. The 27th, or basically a week and 1 day. I think you guys are all saying it's inside, huh? It's an inside job, biased. Definitely a shit show. I mean, a shit show for sure. Definitely crooks. SEC is the cabal. Lawyers are the real winners. I guess lawyers are the real winners, yes. You know, I think a couple of days for the Ripple lawyers cost like $1 million or so. So definitely this lawsuit is costing them tens of millions of dollars. Holy smokes. Maybe it's going to turn into a multi-$100 million centi-million-dollar lawsuit like that. I mean, because it's about 1.3 or so billion, or 1.7. I don't even remember the number anymore. I think 1.3 billion. Because it's about, more than $1 billion, I guess all the costs are okay. Then again, all the lawyer guys, please, if I'm wrong, let me know, because I'm not 100% sure. But if the SEC loses right now, they have to pay all the Ripple's lawyer fees, right? I'm 99% sure, I'm positive on it, but I'm not 100% sure. I would think so, right? Because the SEC attacked Ripple, basically. So it would be logical, yes. If they lost it, they have to pay all the lawyer fees. Yes, obviously. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that must be so. I mean, I'm doubting myself, but I mean, that it would be crazy if that wouldn't be the case. Olivia says, a small window left to accumulate. I mean, maybe. I mean, that's a really difficult thing to say as well. Is it going to be a long... I mean, look, guys, there's two big scenarios. One is what we are speculating is the real, the most. Let me say that differently. We have two main scenarios. One, the SEC wants to pull through and try their best to hide as much info, but if they can't, they'll just pull through anyway. They'll try as much and just, take the loss if the judge decides it is summary judgment. Not want to just settle, not want to do anything. And option number two is they are defensive, potentially, because they do not want the secrets to be exposed. They do not want to be hurt, and they want to win regardless and not get any, basically, poop on top of their name. So they're trying defense after defense after defense after defense, and if it doesn't work, they'll just settle before everything is hurt, and so they can still get some money out of it and not hurt their name and still be the winners in the big game. I guess an option number three is that it's all an inside game, and these guys are just making money off of us in some weird cult way. I'm not going to speculate too much on that, but there's always a possibility for that. Okay, so let's quickly see what else came up just now. I was, of course, checking out all these lawyers to see if anything was posted. John Deaton said, I predict that the judge will definitely have to rule on certain areas of testimony and whether those questions ask for information that is protected under the deliberative process doctrine. This is referring to the fact that Ripple's side wants to ask questions about what the SEC does not want to, and as it currently stands, they actually came to a little bit of a conclusion today, which I didn't expect, as I told you before. Yet on Monday, it could be that we're going to see a new schedule because they cannot come to a conclusion. Wouldn't be too strange. Don't be surprised if that happens. Don't be surprised, by the way, if this deposition actually gets postponed for another couple of days because they cannot come to a good conclusion and the judge maybe doesn't have enough time to rule and all of that stuff. It could definitely be so as well. But then again, guys, this is all a healthy thing, though. It's not a bad stalling. It's not like it's been postponed. Unfortunately, no. It's been postponed because the judge recommended it for Ripple's own benefit. So this is not a bad thing. This is not the SEC trying it out and Ripple having to budge. No, this is a good thing. Let's quickly see what you guys are saying. Ethereum will get sued too. That's also what I'm thinking about here. But what, you're saying that like it's an easy thing, right, Kryptonite? But who exactly are they going to be suing? One of the founders? Ethereum Foundation? Or what? Because with Ethereum, the difficult part is that it's become a lot more decentralized than XRP has to some degree, right? With XRP, it's really simple. Okay, just sue Ripple. With Ethereum, it might be simple to say, okay, you know what? Sue the Ethereum Foundation. But the Ethereum Foundation is all the way overseas. It's not in the United States. It's over in Zurich, Switzerland. So that's going to be a little bit more difficult to actually sue because the SEC does not have jurisdiction over anything outside the U.S. And so the U.S. SEC is suing over a securities matter in the United States, but then going to Switzerland for it will be strange. Are they going to sue Consensus for being, early connections with Ripple, Joseph Lubin? But then again, if that were to be the case, if they wanted to sue the founders of the project, they would have also sued Jed McCaleb because he's a co-creator of Ripple/DXP Ledger, so he should have also been sued. But since he wasn't, right? It makes you wonder. It makes you wonder what exactly they're going to do if Ethereum turns out to not be properly regulated. I'm really wondering. I guess if you're also thinking about this, maybe they sued XRP/Ripple because it's just an easy grab. Ripple is one of those only companies that's just trying to stay in the United States, trying to do everything following the books, not trying to cheat the system. And the SEC was like, you know what? Let's make a couple $1 million. And then all just laughing at each other, shaking some hands with each other, like, let's make some money. Let's try this out. It's going to work properly. Let's make a couple million. And it worked. They're trying at least, and it might be working as of this far. Here we go. It's Beastie asks, did you explain the title already? Well, we've been going for 23 minutes, so yes, I have 5 times maybe. The lawsuit has been, not the lawsuit, I should say. The deposition has been postponed for 8 days. Why? Just scroll to the beginning of the live stream because I explained it at the beginning. I went over everything, so just watch it from the start and you'll know everything you need to know. But yeah, I kind of lost my train of thought right now. But you guys get it. Let's quickly see what Crypto Law also posted. It posted a couple of things just now. Let's quickly see here. All right, so this is... Wait a minute. Let me quickly see where it was. Crypto Law posted this right here. Joint letter from Ripple, Chris Larsen, Brett Garlinghouse saying they've made substantial progress. Okay, it's actually the same thing. This is just the letter that we already read just now, posted by Crypto Law instead of James Filon. But it's basically the same thing. Price, by the way, going down a little bit, I'm seeing. Actually breaking down just a little bit. XRP to BTC was rather interesting this morning with a huge spike and now falling back down into its little rhythm/flow. The winning side usually has to pay its own attorney fees. Really? And Fullerene says, gotta run. Be well, everyone. Hey, Fullerene, thank you so much for showing up. Also, best of luck to you, man. I didn't actually read your DM just quite yet, but hope everything's good with you and your wife. I saw your concerning message over on Twitter. I hope all is well, my man. Wait, let's actually figure that out right now because I want to know. So the SEC sued Ripple. If Ripple wins, or they come to a settlement, who pays whose lawyer fees? How does that work? So if Ripple wins, the SEC pays all the lawyer fees, and if they come to a settlement, they each pay their own lawyer fees. Is that how it works? I mean, that would sound logical. Or do they have to settle about that as well? Do they have to come to a conclusion about who pays what lawyer fees? I don't know. I'm not a U.S. lawyer. I don't have any clue. I'm just checking if any of you guys in the comment section knew. No. And by the way, no, it's not the SEC postponing it necessarily. It's the judge saying that, hey, Ripple, maybe you want to postpone, and the SEC side obviously wanting to postpone to come to some better conclusions. It's both sides come to this conclusion, so it's not a bad thing. Settlement on fees too, okay. In the Netherlands, the loser pays. That's what I always thought, Jasper Snyder. But they will pay the damages caused by them if Ripple wins. Who paid fees in the last case? People who tried to sue Ripple. True, but I mean, there was also there was this different case about that. I mean, there was an entire lawsuit on its own, right, about who had to pay the fees, and then it was like $4 million for like 2 weeks of trial. So that's what I'm thinking right now. It's going to be like $100 million in lawyer fees for like a year. $100 million maybe. Which is crazy though. But I guess because they have freaking 30 lawyers, if they all, get, let's say, $400 an hour and work for a year, 30 people, $400 an hour, that becomes pretty costly pretty quickly, I guess, huh? Maybe they're even like $1,000. Maybe these are high-profile guys, $1,000 an hour with 30 people. I'm not sure if they're all working at the same time, but let's say $30,000 an hour. So let's say they're working on the clock. No, okay, that's too much. I want to say 24 hours is $720,000 a day. Times 365 is $262 million a year. It's a little bit overkill. But it could, theoretically speaking, if they only were to work 8 hours a day, we divide it by 3. If they were to be $1,000 an hour, which is really high though, if they're working 8 hours a day, all of them, all 30 of them, that's $90 million in a year though. Jasper says maybe they can sue. Not only time spent in court. Okay. Well, I mean, it doesn't matter. This is just my fun and joke speculation. They don't really matter in real life. I mean, whatever the cost is going to be, who cares about that, right? I mean, it's a 1.3, I think, or 1.7, I think it was $1.3 billion lawsuit. Who cares about freaking $50 million now? I care about $50 million, all right? I care. But I don't think Ripple cares too much about that. To be honest with you, if the settlement would be like, okay, Ripple, you know what, pay $100 million, don't you think they would just be like, huh, okay, okay. They can actually, theoretically speaking, write it off as XRP expenses, and so they can sell XRP, which is not that beneficial to us, but okay. They could sell XRP to actually cover those expenses. I guess it's also a 50-50. I wouldn't be too angry with them if they were to actually sell XRP for that, because ultimately, if I would have to, I guess, let the foundation, in this specific case, Ripple here, sell a big portion of XRP to get it proper clarity. Would I be afraid of that? Would I be sad with that? No. Wouldn't you give a pretty good penny for XRP to be properly regulated? I guess I would, so. Yeah, I couldn't be too sad with that. By the way, guys, if you are enjoying these updates, make sure you press that like button. Big update coming up Monday. And Maddie is asking, Dusty, where will we keep the XRP parties after this is over? That's a good freaking question, man. That is a really good freaking question. Oh, I have a lot of fun stuff to talk about a little bit later, too. I already had so much planned in terms of videos to make, but I guess I got interrupted by this breaking news just now. Let's quickly see if I had anything else open. No, it's just all hindsight. I guess all of that stuff doesn't matter anymore. I had everything open, though, already, because I thought maybe the SEC is going to throw a big fuss at it, or Ripple side is going to throw a big fuss at it. I'm going to have to cover all the hindsight and all the back documents and whatnot. But it turns out that they're really civil about this, saying, hey, we've come to a good conclusion. We want to postpone. And then Monday, basically, we will show you, the judge, what exactly we have questions about. I think that's kind of what it's going to be. J Rock says something. I can't take this anymore. I'm gonna go get smashed. I hope. I don't know what I hope you meant with that. I don't know what I hope you meant with that. Space XRP saying that's why they want to settle so they don't have to pay them. I don't know about that. 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 I don't think that's the case. I think the SEC, of course, has to protect its integrity and whatever they have left. And of course, they want to make money. And Ripple's side obviously wants XRP proper clarity. Their name, not this in the ground anymore. They just want some respect on their name, Birdman. And I guess just to be able to continue their operation in the United States. Don't forget, guys, if Ripple loses, bada boom, bada bing, they move it to the UAE, UK, Japan, something like that. It's not the end of the world. We've actually stopped talking about that for the longest time now, huh? We've actually stopped talking about that for the longest time now. Yeah, the fact that in the end, if they lose, it's not the end of the world either. That's pretty funny. Hey guys, let's actually ask another little question. Do you have an end goal for XRP in terms of price? To be honest with you, I don't really have any. Nor, by the way, do I actually know if this entire SEC lawsuit is a big scam from the inside out or what. I'm not even going to speculate on that. I'm not the type of guy to put that stuff up. But I mean, one thing I guess I can say is that I do believe the XRP price would rise if they come to a settlement. And I mean, you guys have seen me talk with some of the big crypto guys before. You name a big crypto YouTuber, there's a 99% chance I talk with the majority of those guys. And the majority of them say as well that it's a smart idea to have some XRP because of this. I guess one thing I always talk to them about saying, hey, it's always smart to have some XRP purely because if they win the lawsuit, bada boom, bada bing, right? And none of them really talk against me on that one. And even Da Vinci today came up to terms saying, hey, yeah, XRP is close to its bottom. I mean, think about it. It's such a good it's such a good risk to reward, I should say. This is soon over, says Maddie. Let us see. And by the way, guys, I recommend you all to follow me over on Twitter, TheDustDBC. If you aren't, no worries, but it might be a smart thing to do. Because there's a lot of cool things posted on there. So, might be in your best interest to do that. And in terms of price, we are not talking too much about the price over the next couple of days. Bitcoin is basically potentially making a new lower low today. It depends a little bit on where it's going to close. And you can see here, it's struggling quite significantly. Even though it's been testing lower, it's actually not closed below this open right here. So basically check out this right here, the open, which, it's actually moving to up there. The open is beneath here. You have to check that number. I'll make it bigger for you guys. Let's quickly see. So this or this one, let's quickly check it out. This one is, why is it so annoying to watch here? I cannot move that, I think. I can also not get rid of it, no. Okay, so, there we go. The open is for this one, 31.6 thousand, and this one is 31.57. So basically, we don't want to close below 31.57 on Bitcoin, and right now the current price is about 31.8. So we have about $300 worth of room, basically. And if we close below it, we're basically making a lower low, and this channel is continuing on, but it's continuing on with a more negative bias than we would like to have. So right now, the channel, basically, again, you can kind of see the movement, right? It's not perfect, but you guys get the idea. It's basically moving a little bit more like this. Like that. It's what it's moving like. And so if we were to make a lower low, it would kind of confirm the channel more. But the majority of what it actually does is just be negative on the basis that it's going to confirm that we are in a bigger downtrend. And it can basically bounce from here, make a triple bottom, basically, 1, 2, 3, and just kind of recover. Or it can continue on with the negativity, which I would not like to see. Then again, that's all Bitcoin stuff. Bitcoin is still the determining factor, though, for what XRP is going to do, as you guys know. And Kahi says something about Bybit in freaking French. I will translate that for you because, maybe it's an important thing and you don't speak English. I will use freaking Google Translate for you, my Kahi. Google Translate. There we go. French to Dutch, because I got you. French. No, I'll do it to English so I can read it out as well. On Bybit, I can't register even though I used your XRP transfer knife link. Transfer knife link. You can't register. Huh. Well, some countries don't allow it. I'm not exactly sure what to tell you about that one. Once more, Bybit competition link is down below. 30,000 XP to be won. Right now we are at 4,500. We can get it up to 30,000 though if more people join. And I'm already telling you guys, if we get that many people, which I don't think we will though, but if in the next couple of days, next time it will be 100,000 XRP because I promised you guys that I was going to get that done. But then we had to get to 500 people, which is almost. I thought you were a French speaker. No, I do not. I can pronounce. I can read it up, but I can't. Should we try? No, you guys are gonna hate me for it. I will not try that. Sur ma bite, n'arrive pas à m'enregistrer. Okay, I'm gonna try. No, I'm gonna embarrass myself for my French. Fun fact: every Dutch person watching right now, if you went to high school basically, and you were in one of the higher ones, so you basically have different levels of high school, you had French for at least 1, but sometimes 4, sometimes 6 years. I had French for 5 years, and still a basic sentence like this, I am not even able to pronounce properly, and I'm not able to read almost any French at all. Why? Yeah, oh, by the way, you guys are saying the GIF is annoying. I'm so sorry. I do that more often. Show an annoying freaking GIF. Sur Bybit, je n'arrive pas à m'enregistrer alors que j'ai utilisé ton lien en transférant mes XRP. There we go, boys. Je ne comprends pas de français. Je ne parle pas français, là. No, okay. There we go. That was my French. That was my best attempt. I tried. I got you, boys. Wait, you said I've used your link, your Bybit link, but I can't register? I've sent my 300 XP? Hold up a minute. What do you mean? You mean you if you made an account, where have you sent 300 XRP to if you couldn't make an account? I don't get that too much. Please, once more, it doesn't take any money to enter. You just have to have money in your account. You don't have to send somebody any money. Please don't get scammed. You made a deposit on your account, that is, right? So, I mean, you just contact the support. It's very easy. They're very responsive. Because you got to be referred by me. And I'm going to text this community guy, because maybe I have the wrong link somewhere that people aren't getting referred properly. Anyone else wondering about McAfee? I am wondering about McAfee every single time. You can't click on register on the event page, I think. You can't? I mean, it works for me. But maybe if you're logged in and it doesn't work. Once more, if you're using whatever I put down there and it doesn't work, send me a little message. I'll send it to the official Bybit team and you'll be fine. If there's any issue, once more, just contact me directly. No worries on it. If it's Bybit related, I got you. If it's Binance or any other of those ones, I can't do anything for you. If it's Bybit, got you. I got you. No worries about it. So just send me a message over on Discord, or if I'm following you on Twitter, send me a DM over there and I'll fix your issue. But best thing you could do is go to the Bybit support. But if it doesn't work, just send me a message once more. Dusty is pulling your chain. What do you mean with that? What do you mean by that? You know what, Kathy? I'm not sure if you're joking with me or not, because you're saying I didn't have an account. I opened one using your link and made a deposit, and now it says I can't register. A little bit confused, but I'm just contact the support. Because if you... What? You mean you can... I'm scratching my head. You did make an account, but you can't register for the competition. Okay, that could maybe be so. Maybe that's what he means. Then just contact support. Maybe make a new account, get your money out of there, put it back in. Yeah. It's not difficult, man. It's not difficult. I don't know what to tell you, man. I don't know what to tell you. All right. I think we can actually conclude here. By the way, I'm not saying anything about Bitmart. This is Bybit. But yeah, Bybit is my favorite exchange right now. Is there a French speaker here who can help me? Kahi, ask the support. I mean, difficult one. You're a woman. That's an important detail. I'm not sure exactly why, but okay. All right. I think we concluded everything for today. We talked about the postponing of the entire debacle. That's the most important thing for right now. If there's any other news, I will do another live stream or get you guys in form of a video. There's another video coming out later today. Be prepared to watch that a little bit later. And yeah, I guess thank you all for stopping by. Make sure you are subscribed. Important news is going to be coming out Monday. If you're not subscribed, you might miss out on that, and it is worth it. If you enjoyed it right now, you might also want to subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, that's not a smart idea. It might be smart to subscribe. And I'll see you guys again in another crypto video later today. A lot of stuff coming up. So once more, a quick recap. There's a deposition. There was a deposition on Monday. However, it got postponed to the July 29th instead of July 19th because they have to come to some terms about what exactly they can discuss. And the judge basically said, I don't want you to depose them twice, William Hinman. So better stall it for a week and then come to some better terms. And so this Monday, they're going to be putting up both sides a letter as to what their expectations basically are. And we will see if they're going to come to any terms or not, and if it's going to be another back and forth over the next couple of days, most likely. So once more, Monday, big update. Make sure you are subscribed, and I'll see you guys again in another crypto video.